Have you ever found yourself at a crossroads, caught between the pursuit of your dreams and the warmth of a love that feels so right? I did. My name is Jake, and today I want to share the story of my relationship with Mia, a small-town girl with a heart full of dreams whose path diverged from mine when I chose ambition over love. When I first met Mia, I was captivated by her simplicity. She was everything I wasn't: carefree, grounded, and content with the little things in life. I, on the other hand, was a young man with my eyes set on a high-powered career in the city. My life revolved around the relentless pursuit of success. The hustle and bustle of the urban grind became my reality, and with it came the pressure to achieve more, be more. I remember those early days vividly, our late-night talks about the future, where Mia would share her dreams of a cozy home, a garden filled with flowers, and a family. She spoke of her longing for a life where love and simplicity reign supreme. I admired her vision, but couldn't help but feel that my aspirations were pulling me in a different direction. I wanted to conquer the corporate world, climb the ladder of success, and make a name for myself. In my mind, I thought I was making a rational choice when I ended things with Mia. It felt necessary. How could I pursue my ambitions while being tied to someone whose dreams seemed so distant from my own? I believed that letting her go would allow us both to flourish. Her in her peaceful small-town life, and me in the bustling city. But little did I know, that choice would haunt me. As I moved forward in my career, I filled my life with work, striving to be the best version of myself. But success often comes with a cost. I became exhausted from the chase, realizing that with every promotion and every accolade, I felt increasingly empty. I had sacrificed the one thing that made me truly happy, Mia, and the life we could have built together. It wasn't until a year later that I stumbled across an old letter from her, one filled with her hopes, dreams, and a love that remained untouched by time. As I read those words, a wave of nostalgia hit me, igniting memories I had buried deep beneath the surface. I suddenly realized that perhaps my definition of success was flawed, and I began to question everything I thought I knew about happiness. As the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the distance between Mia and me became more pronounced. The conversations we used to have, filled with laughter and dreams, transformed into awkward exchanges. I could sense the weight of my decision bearing down on us, and with each passing moment, it felt like a storm was brewing beneath the surface. One chilly autumn evening, we found ourselves at our favorite coffee shop, the warm glow of the lights wrapping around us like a comforting embrace. I had planned to discuss our future, but instead, I felt the familiar tension in the air. Mia looked at me with those hopeful eyes, the ones that had once made my heart skip a beat. It was in that moment that I knew we were living in two different worlds. Mia, I started, trying to find the right words. I think we need to talk about us. She nodded, her expression shifting from anticipation to concern. Is everything okay, Jake? I took a deep breath, the weight of my decision pressing down on my chest. I don't think we're on the same path anymore. You have your dreams, and I have mine. I don't want to hold you back. Her face fell, and I could see the flicker of hurt in her eyes. But I thought we were building something together. I've always believed in us. I know, I replied, my voice trembling. But I need to focus on my career. I'm going after something big, something that could change everything for me. And I don't want you to feel tied down. The silence between us was deafening, I could hear the ticking of the clock on the wall, each second echoing the reality of my decision. I watched as Mia's smile faded, replaced by a look of disbelief. She had always supported my ambitions, but now I felt like I was shattering her dreams in the process. I understand, Jake, but what if we could make it work? Love is about compromise, isn't it? She pleaded, her voice breaking slightly. In that moment, I realized how selfish I was being. I was so focused on my ambitions that I failed to see the love we shared. Yet the fear of losing my dreams loomed larger than the fear of losing her. I think it's for the best, I said, my heart aching with every word. We both deserve the chance to be happy, even if it means being apart. As I left the coffee shop that night, I felt like a part of me was missing. The cool air hit me like a slap in the face, reminding me of the warmth I had just walked away from. I kept replaying the conversation in my mind, wrestling with the knowledge that I had chosen ambition over love. Days turned into weeks, and while my career flourished, I couldn't shake the emptiness I felt inside. I threw myself into work, convincing myself that I had made the right decision. But deep down, I knew I had lost something irreplaceable: Mia's unwavering belief in us. After our breakup, I threw myself into my career, driven by a relentless ambition to succeed. Days blurred into nights as I navigated the fast-paced world of corporate life. Promotions came quickly, but each achievement left me feeling more hollow than the last. I climbed the ladder, each rung marked by long hours and sleepless nights. I convinced myself that the sacrifices were worth it, that success would fill the void Mia had left. But deep down, I felt a growing emptiness, a nagging feeling that something vital was missing. At networking events and meetings, I surrounded myself with ambitious peers, yet their conversations felt superficial. I longed for the genuine connection I had shared with Mia, the laughter, the dreams, the simplicity of just being together. I tried to push those thoughts aside, focusing instead on my goals. But as the accolades piled up, so did my exhaustion. Late one night, as I sat in my office surrounded by awards, I couldn't shake the feeling that my achievements were merely a facade. The success I had chased was starting to feel like a gilded cage, and I was its prisoner. A year after our breakup, as I was sorting through old boxes, I stumbled upon a letter from Mia. Dusting it off, I recognized her familiar handwriting and felt a wave of nostalgia wash over me. I hesitated for a moment, memories flooding back. Her laughter, our shared dreams, and the love we once had. With trembling hands, I opened the letter. As I read her words, I was transported back to a time when our futures seemed intertwined. Mia wrote about her hopes, her dreams for us, and the life she envisioned. She spoke of a small house filled with warmth, laughter, and love, a stark contrast to my high-powered ambitions. Tears stung my eyes as I read her expressions of love and longing. "I believe in us, Jake," she had written. "I believe we can find a way to make our dreams fit together." In that moment, I realized how deeply I had underestimated the power of our connection. While I had been chasing success, Mia had held onto a dream of us that I had abandoned. Her words resonated in my heart, echoing the reality I had tried to ignore. I felt a mix of regret and longing, understanding that I had traded genuine happiness for the hollow pursuit of ambition. It struck me that while I had gained professional accolades, I had lost something far more precious: the love of someone who truly valued me. This realization sparked a longing to return to the small town where Mia had built her life. I felt a magnetic pull, an urge to see if the happiness she described was still there. Was it too late to revisit that part of my life? The thought of Mia, surrounded by friends, and the life she loved, pushed me to take action. I closed the letter, feeling a determination building within me. I knew I had to go back to our old town, to face my past, and perhaps to find a piece of myself I thought I had lost forever. With a mix of excitement and apprehension, I drove back to the small town where Mia and I had shared so many memories. The familiar sights of rolling hills and quaint storefronts welcomed me, evoking a sense of nostalgia that tugged at my heart. As I entered the town, I felt a rush of emotions, memories of our laughter, the dreams we shared, and the warmth of her smile flooded my mind. I parked outside the old coffee shop, the same place where we had countless heart-to-heart conversations. As I stepped inside, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee enveloped me, instantly transporting me back to those simpler times. The walls were adorned with photos and notes from local artists, and the chatter of familiar faces echoed in my ears. But it was the sight of Mia that struck me most. She sat at a corner table, laughing with friends, her face lit up with genuine happiness. In that moment, I realized just how much I had missed. She seemed at ease, surrounded by the people who valued her for who she was, not for her ambitions or achievements. As I watched her, I felt a wave of longing wash over me. I had spent so long chasing a vision of success that I had neglected to appreciate the beauty in the life we could have built together. The contrast between my life in the city and her joyful existence here became painfully clear. After gathering my courage, I approached her table, heart racing with anticipation. Mia looked up, her smile fading momentarily as recognition crossed her face. "Jake," she said, a mix of surprise and curiosity in her eyes. "I hope it's okay to drop by," I stammered, feeling a rush of emotions. "I've missed this place. And you." Mia smiled hesitantly, but I could see the warmth returning to her expression. "It's good to see you, Jake. How have you been?" As we caught up, I couldn't help but notice how genuine she was. Her laughter, her stories, her simple joys. Each word she spoke reminded me of everything I had lost and everything I had overlooked in my pursuit of success. In that moment, I understood that true happiness wasn't about the glamorous city life or professional accolades. It was about the connections we forge, the love we nurture, and the moments we cherish. As I watched Mia surrounded by friends, I felt a flicker of hope. Maybe, just maybe, it wasn't too late to reconnect with the love that had always been there, waiting for me to come home. As the days unfolded during my visit, I found myself falling back into the rhythm of the small town. I spent time with Mia and her friends, sharing laughter and stories over coffee, just like old times. The simplicity of it all felt refreshing, a stark contrast to the chaos of my city life. Mia and I walked through the town's parks, reminiscing about our shared dreams and the plans we once had. Every corner held a memory, from our favorite ice cream shop to the spot by the lake where we had shared our first kiss. Each moment felt like a gentle reminder of the love we had built, now overshadowed by my ambition-driven choices. One evening, while sitting by the lake, I turned to Mia, the setting sun painting the sky with hues of orange and pink. "You know, I've spent so much time chasing success that I lost sight of what truly matters," I admitted, my heart laid bare. "I think I was so afraid of failure that I pushed away the one person who brought me joy." Mia looked at me, her expression softening. "Jake, you were never alone in this. I believed in us. I still do." Those words hung in the air between us, heavy with possibility. As we spoke, I realized that Mia embodied everything I had been missing: connection, laughter, love. She was a reminder of the life I truly wanted. With each passing day, my heart began to heal. The warmth of friendship rekindled into something deeper. I could see how her world thrived on simplicity and how she had built a life filled with joy and support. Surrounded by her friends and their genuine happiness, I felt an awakening within myself, a longing to be part of that world once more. Yet I still grappled with my fears. Could I truly leave behind the career I had worked so hard for? The questions lingered, but as I watched Mia, radiant and content, I felt a stirring of hope. Mia had created a life she loved, filled with friends and laughter, and I wanted to be a part of that again. It was time to redefine my own happiness, not by chasing lofty dreams, but by valuing the connections that had always mattered. As my time in the small town drew to a close, I found myself standing at a crossroads, torn between the life I had built in the city and the one that beckoned me back to Mia. Each moment with her felt like a glimpse into a future filled with love and simplicity. Yet the fear of change loomed large. I spent one last evening at the lake, where we had shared so many heartfelt conversations. The tranquil water reflected the stars, and the world felt suspended in time. I turned to Mia, who was gazing at the horizon, her expression serene, yet contemplative. "Mia," I said softly, "I've realized that success isn't just about climbing the corporate ladder. It's about being true to myself and finding joy in the people I love." She nodded, her eyes sparkling with understanding. "But it's scary to let go of what you know, isn't it?" "Absolutely," I replied, my heart racing. "I've invested so much in my career, but I can't shake the feeling that I'm chasing something that doesn't truly fulfill me. Being here with you has shown me a different path, a more meaningful one." Mia smiled gently, a glimmer of hope in her eyes. "You don't have to choose between ambition and happiness. You can redefine what success means to you. It's about balance, Jake." Her words resonated deeply, igniting a flame of determination within me. It was true. Success could be measured in the relationships I nurtured and the happiness I fostered. The thought of returning to the city felt daunting, but the possibility of rebuilding my life alongside Mia brought a sense of excitement that overshadowed my fears. I realized that I had a choice to make: to return to the hustle and bustle of city life, or to embrace a new chapter filled with genuine connections. The idea of leaving my career behind was terrifying, but the thought of leaving Mia and the happiness we could share was even more daunting. That night, I made a decision. I would face my fears, not as an escape from my past, but as a stepping stone to a brighter future. I wanted to explore the potential of a life built on love, laughter, and shared dreams with Mia by my side. As the stars twinkled above us, I felt a renewed sense of purpose. I knew that whatever path I chose, it would be one that honored my true self and the love I had for Mia. The journey ahead would be uncertain, but the possibility of happiness was worth every risk. With my decision made, I returned to the city, my heart a whirlwind of emotions. The familiar sights of skyscrapers and busy streets felt different now, a stark contrast to the warmth and simplicity I had experienced in the small town with Mia. I was determined to carve out a new path that blended my ambitions with the deeper happiness I had rediscovered. In the weeks that followed, I began to restructure my life. I had a candid conversation with my boss about my desire to step back from the fast-paced grind. To my surprise, he was supportive, understanding my need for balance. "Success is about finding what truly matters to you, Jake," he said, encouraging me to pursue a more sustainable workload. With a lighter heart, I shifted my focus. I still aimed for success, but my definition of it had transformed. I dedicated time to nurturing relationships, reconnecting with old friends, and exploring new interests that brought me joy. I even took a weekend trip back to the small town, where I found a renewed sense of purpose. During one of those visits, I met with Mia at the coffee shop where we had spent countless hours. As we talked, I could see the spark between us reignite. "You look different, Jake," she said, her eyes twinkling. "There's a lightness about you." "I feel different," I admitted. "I've realized that happiness isn't something to chase. It's something to nurture. I want to build a life with you that values both our dreams." Her smile was radiant, and I felt a warmth spread through me as she reached across the table, squeezing my hand. In that moment, everything felt right. We began to discuss the possibility of a future together, one that embraced both our dreams while fostering the simplicity and joy we both craved. As the seasons changed, so did our relationship. We began to navigate life together, blending our worlds. I encouraged her to pursue her own passions while sharing my ambitions, and in turn, she reminded me to appreciate the little moments that brought joy. Together, we crafted a life that felt fulfilling and authentic. I realized that life's most meaningful moments often lay in the spaces between grand achievements. The quiet laughter shared over coffee, the sunsets watched from our favorite spot, and the dreams we whispered to each other late at night. I had learned to cherish these moments, understanding that they were the true markers of happiness. Our love blossomed in ways I hadn't expected. Mia became my anchor, grounding me amidst the chaos of life, while also challenging me to dream bigger. I felt more fulfilled than I ever had in my corporate life, and the balance we struck together was a testament to our commitment. As time passed, Mia and I solidified our bond, embracing the lessons we had learned on our journey. The small town had taught us the value of simplicity, while the city had shown us the potential of our dreams. Together, we found a beautiful balance, forging a life that celebrated both love and ambition. I took on a role at a non-profit organization, using my skills to help others while still challenging myself. It felt rewarding to channel my energy into something that mattered deeply to me, and I knew it would also honor the values Mia held dear. With each project, I felt a renewed sense of purpose, and I could see how my work was making a difference in our community. Mia pursued her dreams as well, starting her own small business, combining her love for creativity with her desire to contribute to the town. I admired her passion and determination, and I was there to support her every step of the way. Together, we celebrated our achievements, both big and small, relishing in the joy of our shared experiences. We often revisited the lake where we had once laid our hearts bare, taking time to reflect on our journey. One evening, as we sat together on the shore, I turned to her, filled with gratitude. "You know, I never would have imagined that I could find such happiness in the life we're building. It's more fulfilling than I ever thought possible." Mia smiled, her eyes glistening in the fading light. "Happiness is about connection, Jake. It's about finding joy in each other and in the life we create together." Those words echoed in my mind, a reminder of how far we had come. I had learned that true happiness wasn't rooted in societal expectations or ambitious pursuits alone. It was found in the love we shared, the connections we nurtured, and the simple moments that filled our days with warmth. As we held hands, I knew that we had both found our true selves in each other. Our love story was no longer defined by the paths we had chosen alone, but by the journey we embarked on together. Looking ahead, I felt a sense of peace wash over me. Our future was bright, filled with endless possibilities. We had created a life that honored our dreams while celebrating the simple joys that came with being together. Mia was no longer just a chapter in my story. She had become the co-author of my life, and together we were writing a beautiful narrative that intertwined our hopes, dreams, and love. In the end, I realized that the true measure of success lies not in the accolades we receive, but in the relationships we build and the happiness we cultivate. With Mia by my side, I was ready to embrace whatever came next, knowing that we would face it together, grounded in the love that had brought us back to each other.